Good morning, everyone. A few items to cover this morning. As most of you know, Mr. Skelton was in custody of Lucas County Court, or Lucas County, I believe, and had his hearing this morning in Toledo Municipal Court regarding his extradition, which he's chosen to fight. Hearing has been set for December 14th with a $3 million bond established on him. As far as the searching goes, we continue to be out and active in multiple areas throughout southwest Lenawee County, northeast Williams County, and northwest Fulton County. I've made the decision that as of Friday evening, at the completion of Friday evening, we would ask to discontinue the volunteer searches that are coming in. I'd like the opportunity to process what we've collected through the weekend, what's been searched, what hasn't been searched, reevaluate our direction for the following week. So again, we'd ask that the volunteers not come in Saturday morning, as has been the practice. If tips come in that require searching, we'll use our public safety assets that we have here and have been offered from throughout the country, literally. So we genuinely appreciate all their assistance, and it's not that we won't call on them again, but at this point we just want to stop and evaluate where we're at and where we're going to proceed from there. One of the things we would ask the people to do in the regions that we've talked about is that one of the things that people can transition into from the volunteering is to search their own properties. In the areas that we've identified, I just ask that people go out and walk their own properties. If they have large properties, maybe contact our command post here, and I'm sure some of those volunteers would be glad to come down to your property and assist in searching it. We've tried to search areas of interest that we've had, public areas accessible to us, but there are private lands that are out there, particularly areas that might pose vision obstructions from the roadway, buildings or structures, things like that that we haven't been able to access. So it would be important to try to access those areas. As a local note, our City Hall remains closed as the command center takes up the whole building and will remain closed for city business through the end of the weekend. We appreciate everyone's patience with that. We will again evaluate that as this case unfolds and develops. Also, tomorrow at 11 o'clock briefing, our Mayor Keith Pennington will be here to make a statement on behalf of the city. I'll take just a couple questions before I return.
Why is John Skelton in a wheelchair? Why is he in a wheelchair?
I'm not sure of his exact status with this, but at one point he did have an air cast on because of what I reported earlier with a minor fracture to the ankle, so it's likely, I can't definitively say that's the reason why, but that's a suspicion I have of why that is. You'd have to contact the sheriff's department down there to determine exactly why that was.
Do you believe these boys are dead?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you found anything in the searches?
We found a number of items. As you can imagine, the areas we're searching are rural and picking up things along the roadside that are brought in, they're assessed whether or not they're evidentiary, and then processed from there.
Do you believe these boys are dead, and if so, do you believe John Skelton killed them?
I refuse to believe that at this point. It is my desire to maintain hope, but as I said yesterday, the information we have did not indicate that this is going to have a positive outcome. So.
Have you obtained a confession at all, or any information from yesterday, new information regarding what you believe the outcome will be?
We have not spoken with John in some time, and we have not developed any new additional information about where they're at. As far as any details that he's provided us, we will not be offering that information at this time.
Chief, why do you believe that he's fighting extradition? Do you think it's just that he doesn't want to come back here and face Michigan police again?
I would not be in a position to understand why he makes decisions. The only thing I can say is he's exercised his right to do that, and we certainly will be involved in that process.
There have been some reports about his MySpace page and maybe a song he wrote a few years ago.
We've received hundreds of tips, and they are all being explored and evaluated and looked into if it requires to do so. That specific one, I believe I am aware of that and has been looked at.
There's been some reports that you were searching around a campground. Were the boys Boy Scouts by any chance?
You know, any of the places we've searched are some of those are specific information that we may have developed and or places that the boys had frequented or family members have said that they had been before, things like that. You know, as I've said all along, it's not our desire to leave any stone unturned. So if there's any indication that the family or the boys had been at those locations, we've sent searchers out to those areas to try to get it searched. I take one more question.
Now, I mean, right now, you have searches out there. Where are you guys? Do you have a direction, or is it kind of back to the drawing board? I mean, is there a direction? Is there a focus? Or is it, at this point, you have no idea where these boys might be?
Well, I mean, if I knew where those boys would be, they'd be here. So that's the best I can answer for your question. We will be vigilant.
I mean, there are leads, is what I'm saying. Is there a specific lead where you think maybe there might be an area, or is it kind of back where you guys were before, you know, before he started telling you different locations, and now you're kind of just, you know, looking everywhere?
You know, we continue to get leads in, so to say that we don't would be misinformation. We continue to get information in from the public and other sources that we gather, and we follow up in each and every one of those. You know, we'll certainly be diligent in continuing our searches as most efficiently as we can in an effort to locate the boys and bring them home. Thank you. I have no more questions. Oh, I'm sorry. And introduce yourself before you get started.
I'm Pastor Donna Galloway at Morenci United Methodist Church, the church home of the boys. And we would like to extend to everyone in the community and surrounding areas the opportunity to come in and have a quiet place away. We have opened our church building. Our sanctuary is available. And we know that these are difficult times. We know that everyone is being touched by this, and the weight is heavy. And so we just encourage you to step aside, step apart, and come and just pray for the boys, pray for the family, and especially pray for law enforcement and all of the officials that are just diligently searching, and also for our volunteers. We need a place apart sometimes, and we've offered that at Morenci United Methodist. Thank you.
I'm sorry, as I went over my notes here, there's one additional note, and then I have a comment about what the pastor said. There has been an account set up at United Bacon Trust on behalf of the family. That is a bank here in town, located on East Main Street. Any donations that people would like to make to the family can be made there in the name of the Skelton family. In response to what the pastor said, we had a candlelight vigil earlier this week. The family had strongly asked that that the reporters and cameras not be inside that church. And the cameras were not inside the church, but many reporters were. I strongly request that you allow these people and the people in this community to go in there with some level of privacy and dignity to mourn and or pray or hope or whatever their perception is, to do so in private without the burden of the public eye. And we are a small community, and we like our privacy in that regard, and I would ask that you respect that request. Thank you.